everyone. So let us just imagine that you have been given a project to create a website. What would you prefer? Going for a full-fledged framework wherein you are getting all the features incorporated within it, or a little bit faster and flexible and a lightweighted tool to create your web application? Well, the choice is yours. It's a tricky thing, but let's just understand in this world of Angular and React, which one is better. So this is a small snippet of a comparison so that you will be fully aware about which one to choose. So let's just explore into it. What exactly is the difference between your Angular framework and your React library? So to just list out few of the features of your Angular versus your React. If I talk about Angular, Angular is a full-fledged framework coming with many features already incorporated within it. But when I talk about React, React is a library wherein you don't get a full-fledged features, but it is very lightweighted because it has very less number of components to deal with. Who has developed these libraries? So if I talk about Angular, Angular was created by Google in the year 2016. This is the new version of the Angular that was created by Google. And if I talk about your React, React was created by Facebook in the year 2013. The language that is mostly preferred while writing the programs in Angular is a TypeScript. TypeScript is a superset over your JavaScript where you can perform the type checking on your data. Whereas if I talk about your React most of the programming is done with the help of your JavaScript with the incorporation of a template language called as JSX. What is a learning curve? Like how fast can I learn these technologies? Well, if I talk about Angular, because Angular is a full-fledged framework, it takes little amount of more time to learn it as compared to React, which is very lightweighted. So you can learn React faster as compared to your Angular. DOM manipulation in your Angular, you actually manipulate the real HTML pages. Whereas in the React, it's a virtual DOM which is created when the manipulation has to be done. If I talk about data binding, your Angular provides you much more options wherein a two-way data binding, wherein a binding between your JavaScript code and your HTML is provided. Whereas if I talk about React, React restricts it to just one-way data binding. Component-based, both are component-based wherein your Angular has the modules, has component services, whereas if I talk about your React is more restricted towards just the component part, but more into flexibility part here. If I compare about the popularity, like how much popular my React is as compared to your Angular, so as you can see, currently developers are preferring React because it's faster to learn and faster to implement. So popularity wise, Angular is very large to learn, but its popularity is smaller than React. Whereas if I talk about React, it's very extremely large and widely popular. State management in your Angular can be done with the help of tools like your RxJS, whereas in your React, it can be done with the help of libraries like your Redux and all. Performance-wise, if I say, since my React works with a real DOM, so comparatively, the response time of your Angular projects are slower than your React projects. Rendering can be done, my server-side rendering of my Angular projects can be done with the help of Angular Universe, whereas in React, we can achieve it with the help of a framework called as Next.js. Development speed, it's comparatively slow with Angular because it's a full-fledged framework. So you have to take into consideration every small setting within that particular framework. But as compared to React, React is much faster because it's just a library. So it's just an HTML, CSS and JavaScript project in which you are adding the features of a React. As far as the size is concerned, since it's a full-fledged framework, there are many number of files that will be already incorporated within your project. But when I talk about the size of your React project, it will be comparatively smaller. Let's move ahead and understand which one is a better technology to use if I want to move into the mobile development. So both provides us with the options. So Angular has Ionic framework for the mobile application development to develop hybrid mobile application wherein you can create simple HTML, CSS, JavaScript mobile pages and those can be deployed on mobile phones. Whereas if I talk about your React may we have a React native to develop your mobile application. Now let's just understand what about the testing. Now Angular comes with its own built-in testing tools like Karma and Protector, whereas in the React, you will have to make use of some of the external libraries to perform the testing of your project. Why exactly I will use Angular? Well, if your need is to create a full-fledged enterprise-based application, Angular is the preferred tool for you. But if you want a quick in the sense a dynamic web page like your Facebook or your Instagram, which you need an instant update to be deployed, well, in that case, React will be a much better option for you. Backend compatibility in the sense, my Angular, when it is getting updated, when the major updates of my Angulars are being released, there is a little bit of a problem wherein there is no proper backup compatibility provided, wherein the developer may have to completely change the program for the newer updates. Whereas in the React, this problem does not exist. Proper backup compatibility is provided across the different versions of the React being deployed here. What about the updates? Am I getting the proper updates? Yes, Angular, React both provides you with the regular updates, wherein both are having the new implementation, new upgradations having periodically released towards you. So now we have understood what are the features of my Angular and my React. But who exactly is more popular? So we are going to see some comparison done by some of the popular sites, some surveys that has been done on these particular sites. So let's jump into it and understand it. So popularity in the terms of your GitHub stars and forks, as you can see, my React is significantly more popular in terms of GitHub stars and fork as compared to your Angular. If I talk about NPM downloads from where exactly both your Angular and React manages their libraries, so compared to Angular, your React gets more number of download requests. If I talk about your job listing, so there are more number of jobs coming up for the React because React is faster to learn, faster to deploy, faster to develop. So more and more developers prefer to learn React and start developing on it. Whereas if I talk about Angular, Angular is mostly related for the enterprise-based application where it is steeper to learn, but it's given to give you a very robust application as compared to your React. If I talk about your Stack Overflow developer survey that has been done in the year 2014, even this shows that most of the developers love, almost 60% of the developers love React as compared to Angular. It is one of the most wanted framework that is available in the market currently for me to learn, and it is something that is currently being used also in the market. If I talk about the performance benchmark also, since my Angular is a full-fledged framework, obviously its deployment time and everything will be slower as compared to React, who is just a library. So if you see here, my SPA first time load time compared to React, Angular is little bit slower. And if I talk about my DOM updations also, since my Angular works on the real DOM, its updation will be little slower as compared to React where it works on my virtual DOM. What about the mobile development? Mobile development both provides us with its own tools, like Angular comes with Ionic framework, whereas React comes with React Native. But most of the time you will see that React is a preferred tool for the mobile application development also, and performance wise also your Reactive Native provides you a better performance here. What about the salary trend? So salary trends goes like this. Currently, your React developer, which is currently in demand, the React developers tend to get more salary comparatively. I will not say the margin is too much huge, but comparatively more than the Angular developers. Let's talk about what are the Google trends. So obviously, since my React is one of the most popular application development tool that is going on in the market, developers tend to search it more as compared to React. So most of the search, 65% search are for my React as compared to just 35% search for the Angular. Now let's just understand that what about the adaptation of my React and my Angular in the large scale company. So as you can see in this slide, almost around 300 plus companies have already adapted React for web application development, whereas for Angular it's 200 plus companies. And what are the different companies that are currently using Angular? So these are the most popular companies that are currently developing the applications using Angular. Now let's just understand why these companies prefer Angular over React. Well, here are some of the reasons why we'll go for Angular as compared to React. First is it gives you enterprise level application because of many of the features already incorporated within the Angular. You don't have to keep on adding external tools within the Angular. Everything is packed and given to you and you can start developing your project. Robust architecture. If I talk about your Angular project comes with many features like dependency injection, two-way data binding, which allows you to make a very strong application as compared to your React. If I talk about maintainability, your Angular comes with the built-in support for the TypeScript, which allows you to manage and do the changes in your project very easily. Now, these are some of the companies that are currently using React for the web application development. Now, why the companies will choose React? So, let's explore some of the reasons why React will be chosen. So, it gives me a very fast and dynamic UI. So, my task is to create application quickly. Within few days, I want my web application to be deployed. So, for that, React is a preferred tool for me because it gives me UI developed very quickly. Component-based architecture, everything I can break it down into components and easily manage individual components here. Cross-platform development, so I don't have to worry about for which platform application is working. Your React comes with a tool called as React Native, which also allows you to develop mobile applications. Flexibility. Since it is a library, it's not a full-fledged application or full-fledged framework, you can actually inject this React anywhere in any project that you want. So now that we have understood why the companies would prefer Angular or React, let's summarize both of this with a simple understanding about why exactly Angular. Angular gives you a full-fledged project, a complete package altogether, whereas React allows you to develop an application in a faster and a flexible manner. So now the question towards you, that today if you have been given a task of developing a cutting edge application, which will be your preference? A full-fledged solution, complete solution, or a flexible and a faster way of developing your application? So give your choice, understand it. So that's all for today. Thank you, everyone.
From Itvedant, visit the link below to schedule a free one-on-one counseling session at your nearest Itvedant center. Do like, share, and subscribe to our channel.